Peter is excited to now share briefly how his club has been able to successfully grow their membership. Welcome, Peter.
Too much to say, but I will just say briefly, and we've got a great panel of our Serrans that represents that growth that was mentioned from 9 to our current 132. It started really with Sharon Utterback, who's currently our president, who knew my mother, and she is a Council of Catholic Women member, CCW. And they, Sharon, when we were 9 and we met in the little library conference room at the seminary and we could all sit at the same table, now it's 132, and we actually meet in the refectory where we had the reception last night. But it really was a member at a time, and Sharon started that fire, if you will, in the sense that she turned to her CCW group at Our Lady Lourdes parish where she was, and 6 of them joined. And then turned from there, and we grew into other parishes. Evangelina Alonso at St. John Newman, we did a membership drive there 2 years ago and gained 40-some members. And then we took that same method and went to St. Thomas the Apostle, where we had well-established some key parishioners who approached their pastor, who was on fire, I will say, because the membership drive we did that weekend at every single Mass, he said most every single Mass, and he started by saying, today we have with us, and here at the church, the Serra Club of Miami, a very important group. You need to go by their table. Then during the special intentions, mentioned again Serra Club and need for vocations to the priesthood and consecrated life. And then at the end, he mentioned, make sure you go by the table, that he would be at the table. And he stood there at the table. But more importantly, our key Serrans that were involved, either sacristans or in other roles, stood there by the table. I stood at the table, just couldn't keep up with the registrations that were coming in of new members. But it was that ask, right? It wasn't a church bulletin announcement. It was the individual ask by people that other people knew and respected for their faith and commitment. And so from that, the St. Thomas the Apostle, we had a membership drive, we had 54 new members. But what sort of the ask is, one time a year, at least for us all, to choose a parish that we approach and go to the pastor, get his buy-in, obviously go to the one that you think you'll have the best buy-in from, and then find the key people that are parishioners there to do the membership drive. But truly, it is our members that are so involved that one by one made the ask that allowed us to grow to where we are today. I will say that one challenge, because we did mention that we were up to 154, was not staying well engaged with those parishioners. And my better half, my wife, who always helps me, she says, we need to involve people, and even if it's in the smallest ways. So we always do cards for the priest during Priesthood Sunday. And she said, we need to bring all those cards and have all the members take cards to sign with personal messages from the Serra Club so that they're engaged. And I always approach people and I say, look, will you consider becoming a Serran? And they go, what do you have to do? I say, do you pray? Oh, you pray. Okay, you can be a Serran then. And then we engage them with the 7 Serrans prayer team, because some people, and we lost a dear Serran, Cecily Roberts, last night. So I asked you to pray for her. She was homebound in hospice, but she prayed so dearly. And so you don't have to come to the meetings, but you need to pray. And then I always say to couples, I said, coming together, whether both attend or not, but most importantly, joining together. So anyhow, you're going to hear from our great panelists that are some of our members through the years that have joined, and they'll tell their story. Thank you. God bless.
Remind everyone, how long have you been a Serran?
I joined, my husband and I joined September of 2022.
Okay, Emily?
I joined in, I think, January of 2020.
Amelie?
And I joined February 14th of 2020.
Thank you. Okay, next question. What did you know about Serra before being approached to join? Okay.
Okay, so what I knew about Serra was I have been involved with a vocations ministry within our parish. We called it Samuel Group for many years. And there was just a comment made once by the person that organized it. You keep changing the PowerPoint, by the way,
sorry.
just so you know. Squirrel. And the only thing I really knew about Serra was like, yeah, it's a bunch of old rich people that just give money to the seminary. That was basically, it was like, yeah, but we want to make ours like more spiritual, more, So anyways, so I was involved in vocations within our parish for awareness, and then it kind of disbanded, things happened and stuff. And so then when I was approached about Serra, I was like, wait a minute. Those are those old rich people that give money that I heard about. Okay, that sounds good.
Who approached you? Another Saran?
Evangelina,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
another Serra.
Okay.
So the first time I was in a Serra Club event was sometime before 2020. I think it was like 2019, late 2019, and I think it was Sharon who invited, because I also go to Our Lady of Lourdes, and Sharon she was, I don't know if she was the president at that time of the CCW, but she was like, okay, well, we're having a mass at the seminary for the Serra Club, and then we're going to have a brunch afterwards, and, it's going to be a fun event, so why don't you all come? So I was like, okay. So I came, and I thought it was really fun, and the people there were, like, really nice. And then in 2020, when everything kind of went online, that was when I really started coming to meetings, and everyone was just so, like, kind and very welcoming, and I liked that they... the Serra Club involves members so much. Like, it's not just like you go to meetings and then like stuff happens somehow. You're very like involved in the process. And it also, I was in high school at the time. I think I was a senior. So I really didn't have that much time to, go running around everywhere. And I appreciated that they, you could involve yourself in what you needed to and what you were interested in. And they were just so happy to have you be there, and I was like, you know what, this is like something that I actually feel like I'm making a difference in, and I want to devote the time to coming here and helping out. So that's why I joined.
And in my case, I actually had one of my sisters from the Catholic Council of Women who would come and tell me all the time, oh, you need to find out about the Serra Club, and she gave me a little card, and I even started praying. And what really appealed to me, other than the incredible work that we do in supporting vocations, was that it was something I could do with my husband. So we had a lot of different things that we were doing, a lot of different ministries that we were doing in our church, but it was men and women, and this was something that we could really do together. So that's really one of the appeals, other than the mission that we're serving.
Okay, so you answered the question, what was it that made you decide to join, it sounds like. All right, how difficult was it to join the club, and did you feel welcome?
Oh, it was super easy. I mean, when they set up a table at your parish and they have their money taker right there and all the forms, it was pretty easy, yeah, and felt welcome. Yeah, I think our club's gotten a lot better at that. I know when we came in, we didn't come in like with a main membership drive. We were kind of like just a couple of us joined at the same time, and it was kind of what's going on, who are all these people? But we've gotten a lot better at like when we know there's new people there, introducing everybody and giving a little overview. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like that was one of the things I felt so welcome from the outset. I was just like, the moment that I was like on the Zoom meeting everybody, everyone was like, they just kind of like welcomed me with open arms, and again, I felt so involved like right from the outset. So I thought that was amazing. That really like attracted me to want to be part of the club.
And so in my case, I wanted to become a member before I became a member, and it was that awkward time pre-COVID, like COVID, what's happening. So I reached out to Peter, who I had known many moons before, about 30 years before, and and then I finally became an official. But I think that that's something that we have as an organization gotten a lot better at, specifically through our parish representatives that we have, to make sure that it's accessible. But then after that, we really are able to let them know how to maximize their membership through the different opportunities that we have, the different activities that we have.
Okay. Next question. Since joining, what have you personally liked best about being a Serran?
Do I have to pick one?
No? No.
Yeah, like Amelie said, it's something to do as a couple. It's a nice, because you're right, it's the men's club, the women's club, the women's retreats, the men's retreat, all those things are disjointed. Yeah. We still have a men's club. Anyways, but what I've enjoyed the most, there's two main things that I've really enjoyed the most. Is number one, somebody said it at the beginning, is that the purpose of this retreat is to get you beyond your bubble. And so everything that we were doing with the church was very parish involved, very parish oriented. And it was so nice to start to get to know people from other parishes within our community and form friendships with like-minded people. Because that's really hard to do in today's society, and it gets us beyond just our little bubble. That's number one. And then number two is definitely the Adopt a Seminarian program. It's just so beautiful to walk with them through their journey of school, know what's going on. Hey, it's finals week, it's whatever, and you can just say those prayers for them, hey, with their tests or their papers or whatever they're working on, their retreats. So that's been a real blessing.
So I think I agree with her with the Adopt a Seminarian program. Has been really fun. It's nice because I'm 21, so I'm sort of the age of a lot of these guys, and it's really fun to be able to have that friendship with them and kind of encourage them as a peer, to let them know, like, hey, it's not weird what you're doing, like, keep going, like, people your own age support you, and so that's been really fun. And then I also really like the variety of events that we get to do, like the Christmas dinner for religious is always really fun, where you get to make all the food, and then see all these different like religious sisters and brothers that are like from all these organizations around Miami that you wouldn't really like. A lot of them you don't see them like day to day, so it's really cool, and to get to interact with them. And the Mass and Brunch is always fun at the seminary, and all these different kinds of events that really get to you get to get the community, and you get to have a lot of that fun social interaction that sometimes it's kind of hard to find, like she was saying, with the like-minded people that are from all over.
And I echo everything that they're saying. So the Adopt a Seminarian is just so wonderful, that relationship, and really being able to support these young and sometimes not so young seminarians. I also have gained this love for the membership drive, actually, which I thought I really wasn't going to like and was sort of voluntold there. But really being able to go to other parishes and really invite them to become, and we really have built this beautiful friendship and brotherhood and sisterhood amongst, as Natalie was mentioning, these like-minded people that, what we want to do is in our vocation and in our place and in God's beautiful plan, really support this ministry and support religious, and it was an eye-opener to really see when we prepare these dinners, all these religious that we have here. You have like two that live in this little home in the middle of the city, and being able to really just celebrate with them, to support them, to include them in your prayers. And the last thing that I'll tell you that really I'm not part of it, but my husband is the Seven Serrans, and for him to be able to really have this intentional time that he dedicates to prayer for Father Matthew, has given him this incredible sense of purpose of, I've got to include him in my prayers, and we're obviously always open and encouraged to pray, but really having that as a responsibility, I know has brought tremendous value to him.
Okay, very good. So what Serra Vocation program or activity do you like the best? I think you've talked about some of those. Do you have any others that are particularly stand out to you? Or
Yeah, I think the altar servers is such a beautiful opportunity, right? So, this seeing all these beautiful, bright-eyed children come in, and their families, and really introducing them. And when you see some of the data of our religious, how many of the priests were altar servers. So now you see, wow, this is meaningful, and it was something that here in Miami with COVID, a lot of our churches stopped. Well, they had to stop doing the altar service, but they've been very slow to start the program again. So this was something that, in the last 2 or 3 years, altar server mass, the awards mass was almost, there was just no altar servers. So this is something that, we're really highly encouraging as a club back to our parishes, right? Of one of these altar servers going to come out. Do you need anything from us, for them to come and start serving again?
If I can add to that, the Altar Servers Award I thought was, in just being observing, we have a lot of poor parishes, and we have a lot of very devoted families in those parishes. And to see these people that have never been to the seminary, didn't even know it was around, with their parents and their grandparents and their tias and their tios, because the whole family is coming because they're so honored that their child was chosen. And to them, like, wow, we didn't know this was here. This is really cool. And just to see their faces for that, it's great, because these kids, they don't even know. They're in their little bubble, and it shows them that there's something beyond their parish.
And that's where we get our priest. Ed and I were blessed to be invited to go to the NCDVD, and Father Chuck asked all the priests, how many of you were altar servers? And it's like every hand went up. It was amazing. So, since joining, what do you like least about Serra?
That one's easy. Okay. That one's easy. So I'm going to go back to one of the things that, and I understand the mission of Serra, and I get it, but I think that it's old rich people that I had in my ear from a long time ago. I think that financially there's a barrier for a lot of people to be involved. So I'm going to stir the pot. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You don't have to, you know what? I mean, we've got a lot of people in our parish that would love to be Serrans, but they can barely make ends meet, and they're not going to be able to make the dues. But they're very willing to pray and to volunteer. And if we got to kick them off because they can't make the dues, that's tough, So I don't want to be, the other thing is that we don't have a lot of young people, and I get that everybody has a different time in their life for different parts of your journey and what you can do to support it. So when you're raising a family, your family is your first ministry. All of us, majority of us, you're not included, your kids are probably all grown up, right? They're out of the house, and this is our time of life to start to give back in that way. But I understand we have to support Chicago and we have to support things, but I feel that sometimes the dues is a barrier to really good spiritual people being involved that might not be able to afford it. So, what?
Do you include the meals in your dues?
Meals?
The meals price, the cost of meals? No?
I just mean membership.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, no, just the membership
Okay.
in and of itself. So I have to pay, $100 and some a year to pray for vocation. People are like, no, I do that anyways, so.
Okay, thank you.
So, I mean, I don't really have anything to say, I mean, that I don't like. I would like to see more of, like, keep doing more of the community activities. So, like, I remember one time we had a fundraiser that was really, really fun. It was like, we went, it was actually at my parish. We had, in my parish, we have like an outdoor space where there's like a big screen. And we had a movie. I think we played Man for All Seasons about St. Thomas More, and we all got lawn chairs, and we sold pizza and popcorn and stuff like that to raise money for the seminary, I believe. And that was really fun. Like, I'd like to see more of those types of events where we have like those kind of social, oriented, but like fun community events that kind of raise awareness about the club and also kind of get people together to do something fun. And because for people my age, and this is something I was kind of telling the membership, the international membership committee, a lot of young people that I know is there's a lot of loneliness. So like I was talking to this girl. She's a little older than me. She's about like 30 something. She was talking to me about like, she wanted to get more involved in church and more involved in different ministries in church. And what she was looking for mostly, was obviously the ability to serve a good cause, but more than that, she was looking to be able to do that service, but like in a way where she was getting that community, because she felt like, that sense of loneliness that a lot of people my age and a lot of young people feel right now. So I think that one thing, that Serra Club does really well, and I'd like to see that increase too, would be to, offer that community and social interaction that people are really, really need nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that we have a nice balance between what we do from, prayer to in the community serving, to supporting. So I really don't have anything that I think that I don't like doing. I definitely don't like looking at those bylaws for 4 hours, but we're hopefully over that hurdle. But no, it's really a incredible way that we could, in what we're called to, really serve others. So I don't have something tangible.
Okay, so what do you like best? Did you already answer that? What do you like best? Is there anything else?
Yeah, we answered that, but you know what? I wanted to share an experience. So we were new, and so we joined in September, and then in the beginning of December, we had the Christmas dinner for the religious. So the Archbishop did a little retreat, and then we make them a homemade meal. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot of work. I was going into it like, I'm going to do my duty. It's going to be a lot of work. We're going to have a bunch of pious nuns sitting around eating. I was blown away with the amount of joy that was in that room. I was like, we need to get this into the world. It was like they were just so beautifully filled with joy. I came out of that with a total 180. It was like I was going to do my duty, and I came out so blessed from that. So those are the little graces that we get from this. And you never know. We're all at a different point in our life of the graces that we need, but and we're all going to get them in different ways. But those are gifts that unexpected.
Thank you all so much. What an awesome panel, right? Thank you.